Consultant Live Q&A. Today I got a homie for a long time, man. We didn't know each other for a minute. I got
Yeah,
my boy Marc Supreme, journalist. Now, also, man, they used to run 90.7. I know you still do, right?
yeah.
Man, 90.7 put on a lot of artists in the P, man. So,
What's the goal? What's
so
the goal?
I guess I kind of want to, before we get into the journalist stuff, I kind of want to start with like, how did that even come up? How did 90.7 even become a thing?
Bro, I ain't even told this story too many times. Basically, I knew somebody that knew somebody, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? They put me in touch and it started out as a show. And so when they put me in touch, I'm like, all right, cool. I already knew what I wanted to do because I wanted to do like, I was on the politics, you know what I'm saying? But I love music. And so DJ Lavish, y'all probably see him in the background. Hold on.
Oh, here? Oh,
Yeah.
that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was already on this music stuff. He was like, because I had just moved back to the P, and he was like, man, I'm finna start DJing. I'm finna start getting out here. I'm like, man, I'm finna get on this radio. What up? You know what I'm saying? Jump down with me. And he was like, bet, let's go. And so it's been that since. So we started as a show, and then we just switched the whole format like 2017, late 2017, after it was like defunct or whatever, bounced back. And now it's all the time. So.
Dang. How hard was it to even start it? Like, was there a lot of difficulties you want to say?
The show ain't the hard part, and that's when me and Lab was just doing our thing for them 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? We had 6 to 8 Monday through Friday. You know what I'm saying? Doing our thing. Then we'd do some Saturday stuff too. So that was cool because we was just vibing and putting out stuff that we wanted. But when it came to like trying to incorporate other people and trying to stretch out enough content and enough music and enough shows to fill, basically anytime that you tune in at 90.7, like that's the hard part.
Uh,
The building, you know what I'm saying? The building and I'm saying sponsorships and what I'm saying, just making sure stuff sound the way you want it to sound and the audience getting what you want them to have.
yeah, I definitely, man. I remember coming in there, the studio. We used to come in there. We was faithful. DMV
Yeah.
was faithful. We was in there. So I just like want to say, if I haven't ever said before, you was appreciated and you still are. Cause
Oh,
I
I
feel like
appreciate
y'all
that.
low key a staple right within the last 5-10 years. Y'all a staple in the industry, the Peoria music scene.
Yeah, man, it was just trying to really give artists opportunities to be able to get their stuff heard. And then on top of that, it was just filling the gap that was left by B92. When we was growing up, we were shorty. It was a radio station that was playing Heat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And ever since that whole Tom Joyner, Doug Banks situation folded, Power 92 switched to Power 92, and you really didn't have no black media outlet coming out of the P at all. And it was just way too many of us here to not fill that void. So that was the goal, actually. That was always the goal. It's still the goal.
Yeah, and I saw like I want to say I think it was like well you'll be able to correct me if I'm wrong. For about 2 years now, y'all been running ads on the buses and moving like that. So
Yeah. It started. We did a bus campaign with them. It was, man, I forgot what year that was, like 2018, I think. So yeah, that was a one-time campaign, but yeah, it was just trying to, that's part of the building I'm talking about. Like that's the hard part. Like you got an idea, but it's the execution and the implementation that's going to be the grind, and that was just part of the grind.
right, yeah, and I mean I feel like that's what fails a lot of people because everybody got big dreams, especially where we from. Everybody got dreams, bro. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this, and then that's all you hear. 10 years later, they saying the same dream, and they even like put that first foot forward. So I
Yeah,
definitely commend you on that, bro. Like I don't know. So was you when you went to SIU, right?
yeah. I
Yeah.
did
See,
that. Like,
yeah. See, I remember. I
how'd you
feel like
know that?
we had a conversation about it because I went to Western. So
Oh,
I
word.
feel like we had a conversation. It's a minute ago. So you got me feeling like I'm the journalist been studying you. That's what
Hey,
you do.
that's dope. That's dope.
uh, but yeah. So like, did you already kind of have that idea? What that's what you went to school for? Was it kind of like broadcasting that vibe, or was it more just journalism?
Man, it was honestly, man, I'm be 100 with you. I went to school for that because I was trying to host 106 in Park. I ain't even that
Hey,
with you. I was like,
hey.
okay, Terrence J doing this thing, but all right, then, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a time where he going to have to step down like AJ. They need somebody to fill that gap. I'm going to go ahead, you know what I'm saying, clean that up, you know what I'm saying? But no, that was the inspiration behind it, just uh, being like a rap head, a music head, a culture head. You know what I mean? You just want to be a purveyor of that and just immerse yourself in that and share it with other people that got the same, the same passion as you.
Man, that's what's up, bro. I figured, but I just had to ask you. So I know you saying with being a hip hop head, right? So how you feel about this is like a basic question because I get asked the same thing. How do you feel about how the music industry's changed, especially with the hip hop scene going from let's say 2000 to 2020?
It's dope. It's opened up for opportunity for people that wouldn't have got it otherwise. People that wouldn't have been able to exist. Lil Uzi wouldn't have been able to exist in the rap scene
Yeah,
back in 2000. Drake, you
yeah,
wouldn't have no Drake from the 2000.
that's true.
I mean, the closest thing you would have had. I mean, you kind of did. I recently said like Nelly walked so Drake could run. So Nelly came in with that, taking other sounds and dabbling with the singing and stuff like that too. But like overall, when you think about just the internet and the way record labels set up and the way that you ain't even really got to be signed to be able to get your stuff out there, even your folks like Montana, even your folks like, especially like Soulja Boy, you know what I'm saying? Just because they paved that way for, hey, we ain't got to be signed, but we still gonna be on. And so it's just, I mean, it's better. You're gonna hear a lot of trash too, because you know what I mean. When everybody got a platform, everybody can speak. But I think the hip hop culture in general is better because of it, though.
Yeah, okay. I agree with you, and I'm glad you brought up Soulja Boy because I mean we kind of grew up in that era.
Yeah,
MySpace, that was where it was like your first time really seeing somebody just blow up from the internet. And what at that point the internet was only what about 12 years, like about maybe like 15.
bro, it was
It
fresh,
was young. It couldn't even drink yet.
a toddler.
Oh my God, that's crazy. So now that's literally how people make it. What it seems like, and you could correct me because I mean, but it seems like how the record labels look at it is like, okay, we could get you and we could build you up, but now we also got this guy over here who already got 100,000 followers. He got 500,000 followers, got fans. He got all he need is the connections. I'd
Yeah.
rather sign him. We don't got to build his artistry up.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think that's one of the big differences too. But it's like you got to really figure out how to build your campaign.
It is a campaign too.
It's a campaign. So going into like more of the journalist side, when you want to kind of like write up on an artist, do you mainly want to focus on like the bigger artists, the up and like the ones that are already out there, or do you like to kind of find those hidden gems?
I mean, if you go back, I mean, lately I've been doing a whole bunch of political stuff. You know what I mean? But like, if you go back, I was doing both always. But
Yeah,
I actually started with the little known. I started with the Peoria artists. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
that's true.
you came through the studio, and everybody else, from y'all to the Goonies. You know what I'm saying? To Hood to Good. To you know what I'm saying? I can go back on. You know what I'm saying? Some of them names.
Oh God,
You know what I mean? Voltron for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
All that. So it was a Megatron. I can't remember, but you know, it comes from the inspiration comes from the people that's already big, and then you see and identify that same talent that's around you, and you want to help them get out there, and you want to put that information out there. You want to put that music out there because that's how you create your own culture. You know what I mean?
it's true. And man, I feel like a lot of people when it comes to like the Peoria scene, I mean, I've always questioned like, do we have a scene, right? I've always personally felt like we have. I felt like back then when you guys were doing it, like when Montana and me and EJ was on MySpace, that type of stuff, like getting them big plays, She Bad, One on One, them songs like
Yeah.
that was like a staple of like for our generation. I can't, there's people, World Hustling Federation, they was out there before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know my PR history a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so we look at now is like, do we still have that scene? Do we still have those heavy hitters making noise? And is it authentic as it was before? Because I think now you got a lot more people who are finally figuring out, well, I can pay for advertisement or they're buying views. So do you think that can you actually tell the difference now? Do you think you can tell the difference from the organic growth prior to now?
On the artist, you talking about locally?
Yeah, just for the artists, yeah.
Um, when you talk about locally, that's hard to gauge because at the same time that you have artists that's putting out stuff, you got artists that don't have the persistence that a lot of other folks have. You know what I mean? So you are able to gauge like the trajectory of somebody's career or this trajectory of somebody's following by what they do consistently over a period of time. And
Right.
the period of time that artists are doing it now, with the exception of other some, you know, I mean, you got people that's especially like new local artists like Tapawalo, you got
He dope.
Jones, you know what I'm saying? People like that. That's like you can tell they serious, but then you get some folks that be nice, but then they evaporate. I got a couple artists in my head that's like, man, that I can think of right now that I ain't gonna drop, but it's like, bro, what happened to them? You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to see where somebody gonna take it until they taking it there. And a lot of people that started out, you know, back when Strictly Hip Hop started out, a lot of them ain't around doing nothing. You don't hear about them, but a few people, you got people that's committed like yourself. You got people like Brandon Woods. You know what I'm saying? YDO. You got people that ain't rapping as much as he used to, but he's still on the scene to some capacity. Even Chris still on the scene in some capacity. You know what I mean? So yeah, so those are the people I think you can track, and they story tells itself, and whether it was organic or not, because they still here.
Yeah, that's damn. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Man, and I think that's the hardest thing with being an artist, even at the higher level, is like persistency. And then the people they're not consistent or persistent. So it's like, you know, just because you're good and you're talented, that don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the thing about persistence is, I read this the other day too, it's easier when you got people, it's easier to be persistent when you got support. It's a lot easier if, you know, people are anticipating some type of drop from you, if they anticipating some type of art from you, whether, you know what I mean, whether you rap and then you switch to do something else like clothes, like Rich P, like as long as you got people that is rooting for you in the corner, it's easy to be persistent. But when you're trying to build, being persistent is hard as hell.
Yeah, that first start.
You like, man, ain't nobody fuck with my shit, man. I'm gonna go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody rocking with it for real. And when you quit, ain't nobody gonna say nothing. So it's easy to quit too. You know what I mean? True. And so what people gotta do is it's a tipping point. I'm actually reading a new book now. It's called Tipping Point. It's the point where everything just flips. Mm-hmm. It's by Malcolm Gladwell. It's fire so far, but a lot of people don't have the determination to stay around to the tipping point when everything spill over, and that's why you got the scene that you got now, because people ain't committed to it no more. People got reasons why they do it that's not really from the heart, or you know what I'm saying, whatever it may have you. But yeah, it's definitely different.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, that tipping point. Because I always think about like, it's like they always say like you right there, you be like right there, and you're like, you know what, I'm done with it. I ain't doing it no more. And then you just miss your chance. And then those people who keep going, it's just, but you don't know what's meant for you till it happened, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, but
yeah. And the thing that people miss out on though, by not keeping going, is because you miss out on something that you would have figured out. Like sometimes that break might not have hit you. Sometimes you keep going and that break don't smack you. But if you keep going and you figure something else out though, and that'll put you on. And that's why you got to be persistent. A lot of people quit because they feel like the opportunity ain't finna come for them. When obviously that could be the situation, or it cannot be the situation where you just keep going and somebody notice you. But if they notice you and you just keep going and you figure some other shit out, you can still be decent. You know what I mean? That's the key persistence too.
Yeah, I think especially if we're going into the hip hop scene, but I think overall in just music, there's a lot of just like crybaby shit. To have like a lack of a better term, it's a lot of crybaby ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at like somebody will be like, oh, dude, only reason why people listen to his music because he was popular already. Like, you know, that's their excuse. Or they'll be like, oh, like they only rock with him because of this or because of that, or they don't rock with me and they need to be rocking with me. It's just like all that crybaby shit, and it's just like, you really just got to give people a reason to support you. It don't matter really what it is.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of these artists, they lack that because they don't look for that. They only focus on like the people not supporting them. They're so pissed at that 2 or 3 people who would have spent hundreds of dollars on you fucked up over because you acting like they're not even relevant.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. J. Cole had talked about that low key, talking about Wale in the track a long time ago, talking about, man, you got fans, stop bitching.
Yeah,
but, you're right. It do happen in the industry too. And then sometimes in the industry, you got people that got support and they still fizzle out and they don't come through with the persistency. Because I tell you the most recent artist that I can think of off rip that pump faked the entire industry thinking that he's finna take shit over to a slight degree.
Oh shit,
bruh. Niggas thought Bryson Tiller was finna come through for us.
Man, bro, he's so hard too.
Through like, okay, exchange, okay, my nigga, we rocking with it. And then he's like, I'll be right back. And then he never came back.
You heard his last project?
No, I heard something drop, but I didn't get into it because, like, you know, still more stuff dropping. And then when you get in that groove, especially like me, like music goes along with my work. So I'm just consuming other stuff. And then I'll sit into an artist. Like I'll listen to Young Dolph for a straight month. You know what I mean? So then I'm just outside of like singles that we drop on the radio when it comes to personal time. So no, I ain't got to it yet.
Yeah, it's decent. I mean, I liked it. It was a couple little
Was it decent or was it like that?
It's decent. It's because it's like, because you expecting this one, like the songs is hard. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, I don't know. It's something about it just seemed different, like, and not necessarily in a bad way, but it ain't nothing in a good way.
Signed the deal or something? What you talking about?
It could. I don't know. I think a lot of times when it comes to these like artists, man, like when they with these deals, a lot of times they just drop projects to get out of their deal, to get out of their contract. So they don't put their heart and just their feelings really in it. You can feel that. You feel the energy from the music. So it's like, man, like, I don't know. But Bryson is definitely like, he's still one of my favorite artists because he's just talented. He's just cold.
Yeah, no, he nice. Dude, nice. I thought he was finna be next up in my favorite R&B segment. Like I got all-time greats and all-time favorites, but then you got classes or periods of history where people is like, yo, folks, like, my last main R&B cat for the longest was Dream. And I was like,
yeah, he's a beast.
Dream is my guy. Like, Dream is my favorite R&B artist all time.
He makes some beats.
He's not Kels. And we ain't got to talk about Kels right now because of the situation. But
right.
Facts are facts at the end of the day. But Dream is my guy. And so, you know, Dream, you know what I'm saying? He's starting to not really fall off, but he's starting to fade to the back a little bit. So I'm thinking who's going to take his spot. And I thought it was going to be Bryson, but it wasn't. I think it's probably just Eric Bellinger. That might be him.
Yeah, he'd be right. Yeah, they just like good, like they just good with their pen. So it's like, and then they can sing too. So it's like, I don't know, bro. Somebody said a lot of times these artists believe they owed something. I agree with that.
But like local artists or like industry artists or both?
I think it's kind of a combination of both. I believe that. It's one of those like, it's kind of like me. Like, let's say, for example, we'll use me and you for example. It's like I send you a song to get on the radio and you don't rock with it. I'm like, oh, fuck him then. He don't rock with me. Like, you ain't even gotta have this opportunity for me. Yeah. You know, but people be feeling like, oh, I'm so good at what I do. You need to rock with my stuff. So I think that's where it's kind of coming from the top to the bottom. It's probably just an ego thing for the artist.
It could be. And then some people don't understand, like you said, like, you got to figure out that support. You can't just complain about the support. You got to figure out what you're giving people to support. Some people just want their stuff to bust because they just want it to crack. You know what I'm saying?
They want that clout.
But it's like, man, why should people rock with it? And yeah, you're going to see some people that get it regardless. Like you're going to always have one-hit wonders. You always going to have people that shot up to the top quick. You know what I mean? To me, Blueface is one of the most trashiest artists that ever came out. You know, and I can think of several artists in Pure that I think is just better. Yeah. But you always had a Blueface. Is Blueface going to be heavy in the club 5 years from now? I doubt it. You know what I mean? But so you're going to always have them folks, but at the same time, you got to focus on that slow grind until that situation pop. And you got to, like I said before, you got to figure that out. You know what I mean? Support ain't owed to you. You know what I mean? You got to figure that shit out. And like I said this a while back on the book, maybe your shit just whack. Like maybe you might just be whack, but you got to figure that out. You might be whack at something you're trying to do, whether you're trying to hoop or, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything for everybody. And that might just be your case. But if you're not nice at that, then what is your go around? It's people that can't rap but can write. And they figured out, you know what? I ain't finna get on as a writer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not gonna get on as a rapper.
Right.
Or you got journalists that's like, man, you know what? I'm probably not finna get on as an evening anchor. Can I produce? Can I edit? Can I, you know what I'm saying? Can I come up with ideas, stuff like that? So you still got to figure you out. If you ain't getting that support you want.
And that's just like a personal journey.
Yeah.
You can't teach that really.
Hey,
you really can't.
You got to know your strengths, man. You got to, you know what I'm saying? Drake said, know yourself.
Simple as that.
You got to know yourself. You got to know. I mean, it's just my personal opinion. You got to know where you stand in whatever you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether it be society, a specific industry, amongst a specific class of people, you got to know how are you positioned in this capacity, so you know what you can do and what you need to go for within relative ease. You know what I mean? You got to know if you Drake or Meek Mill.
Oh.
You are, fam. You do.
That's true, bro. That's crazy. So I guess like so to transition though to get into more like the journalism, getting that. I know that I saw a few articles that you wrote, and so I want to really ask you before we even get into like the campaigns, political stuff on the more hip hop vibes. What is like more one of your favorite writings that you have?
That's
One
a
of your
good
favorite articles?
one. I would say a combination of Rich Fresh, his dude named Rich Fresh, and his dude named Sheun Adedeji. Rich Fresh is he calls himself a tailor, but he got a whole fashion brand. He be capping like, "Oh man, I'm just a tailor." Like, no, you got a whole situation, fam.
Hey, with all that.
He out in LA and he makes suits, fly suits. Like he done dressed The Weeknd, he done dressed Kevin Hart and his whole family. Lena Waithe, Dwayne Wade, he did Miguel's wedding. Like, dude's heavy. And I reached out to him and we did some couple like it was like December 2019 or whatever, but I dropped it like 6-7 months later. That same article though is what I posted on the book a while back, where I did the article and I reached out to Complex before I dropped it. I reached out to Complex to see if they wanted to do something on it. They said they ain't even get back with me. But then like a month later, they dropped their own. Same thing happened with Vogue. Now I ain't saying they saw mine. I ain't saying they biting,
but it's a little fishy.
It's a little fishy. And then the other one was Sheun, who one of the youngest black cannabis entrepreneurs in the country. They featured him on Forbes. Was it Forbes? I know he was on Business Week, but before that, I interviewed that.
So you kind of catch them right.
Yeah. I guess I catch them as they're going up. And so I actually went out to Boston for that. I went to Boston. It was the same week in Sean Livingston announced his retirement. It was the same weekend. And I went out to Boston and covered that and saw his dispensary building and all that. And so that's open. And so just be able to chronicle his whole journey was dope.
That's crazy. So you kind of seems like you kind of catch people. You got an eye for talent. You got an eye for the next.
That's what it's looking like.
Yeah. So which is good. That's a.
Yeah.
I think and I might have saw you posted. I might have saw Matt Mills posted, but it's something about like people from Peoria different. And when we go to different places, they know. Like people don't really know you from Peoria and know anything about Peoria, but it's just you bring a different energy. And I don't know what it is about our city is when you leave that area and you go and try to advance yourself, it's just easy. It just seems like everyone I've ever met that's left. That's great. So do you think that is kind of in your roots? You feel like let's like kind of have that mindset, kind of like have an additional aura about yourself? Do you think Peoria gives that to you?
Does Peoria have an aura? Man, I would low-key even say the Midwest almost in general. Like a Peoria cat is definitely distinct because I feel like we are fine-tuned and have a working knowledge of a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Even though our background doesn't have all the stuff that we know about. You know what I mean? But we able to make something out of nothing, and I feel like we normal, fam. Like I don't know, like you meet cats from different cities, and you had them conversations. Like, man, you niggas is weird. Yeah. I just had that conversation with somebody else. Like, man, I feel like Midwest Cat is the most well versed, down to earth, balanced people that you could come across.
Yeah, I could see that because you could go from Chicago to Indianapolis to St. Louis, and it's kind of similar vibes, like as far as just who they are. And they just whatever they grounded in, they grounded in. I ain't saying niggas ain't shiesty. I ain't saying it.
Right. Yeah, you got it everywhere, but I've been a lot of places and like we definitely got a different vibe for sure.
Yeah. So you said that those are your favorites. Now, I guess to ask you and without even giving away your secrets, because I'm not about that. But how do you get yourself?
What up?
How do you get yourself in a room with someone like that? Or how do you even like get those opportunities?
To what?
to just like interview someone like that is on the come up? Is it because they're just on the come up, or you get what I'm saying?
Oh no, that ain't no secret, bro. I just be reaching out. I be reaching out, and then on top of that, like I'm fortunate enough to realize as of late, like my network has been increasing, so I got access to people that I didn't have access to before. People like just alley-oop me a situation, like even Shayoon, dude out in Boston. Like I didn't know him, I didn't reach out to him. Somebody that I know met them here in Springfield. Well, not here in Springfield, but in Springfield, where they both was at. He was trying to get his marijuana situation off the ground, and he was just meeting with lawmakers because he wanted to bring something to Illinois. And then this girl I know, she was down there too, and they just brought my name up. So when I think it's when you not put yourself in a position, when you're lucky enough though to have people mention you in other rooms, that can expedite your ascent to whatever you're trying to get into.
Okay, I agree with that. It's kind of like that double where it's like if you're working hard, you can get to places, but also while you're working hard, people notice you and they want to see you.
Yeah,
great. Okay.
Yeah, they can just connect you, but it's also incumbent for everybody else to identify the opportunities that they got at their disposal too, because everybody knows somebody that somebody else don't know, or everybody got access to. I talked about it like a grip ago, like it's a man living up under the bridge that's poor as hell. You know what I'm saying? That got access to something that you ain't got access to, or that can make some flip out of something that's at his immediate disposal that wouldn't nobody else be able to recognize. So it's up to us to figure out what we got at our disposal, whether it be connections, whether it be, talents, whatever that we could actually use to flip to get to the next level.
Yeah. I'm gonna put you on some knowledge. Like, it's crazy though. This knowledge came from my oldest niece when she was 8 years old. She looked up at me and was telling me, like, she's like, a lot of people don't listen to me, Uncle, because they don't think they can learn anything from me. And I'm like, what you mean? She's like, you can learn something from anybody. And as simple as that was, like, it don't seem like that's a lot of words, but like it dug so deep. You like, dang, you really, every person you meet, they know something you don't.
Right.
So it's like that kind of like that knowledge is like sometimes you don't want to write everybody off just because you feel like you're smarter than them. And I think a lot of people lack opportunities and chances because they write people off.
Yeah, and we don't listen too. And that's why I'll be in a situation, I sit back and listen. Because ain't no reason to talk because you already know what you know.
True.
You figure out what somebody else know. You got to shut up. You know what I mean?
But I think it's the ego again. The ego don't let you. A lot of people's ego don't let them shut up. They feel like they got to be the loudest in the room, and they don't realize people don't rock with those people anyway.
Yeah.
You know. So now going to dig deeper into this journalism, man, you've been really getting into the political campaign in the area, in the city. Like, what made you want to do that? And I think did you say that was already something that you've already pictured doing?
Well, a lot of people don't know. I used to cover politics in Springfield for a little bit for this commercial outlet that was like a CBS affiliate. So I was always interested in politics because politics to me is like a sport. Like it's like you got winners and losers. You got two parties, which is two teams, and so I've always looked at it from a sports angle. So I was always into it. But this last time, it just really came from like that mayoral mini series I did where I interviewed all the mayoral candidates that had announced thus far or up until that point. And I just wanted people to know what was going on in the vote for real. Because the whole summer, 2020 was crazy. Like the summer was crazy. Social unrest, racial unrest. You got, niggas doing a little bit of everything. And you got a date in Peoria's future that is going to likely switch everything where we got an opportunity to change everything or keep it the same or whatever. So I just wanted everybody to know what was going on for real. That's what it was for me. Yeah.
Now, how do you keep your bias out of something of that nature? Like, like when you're asking these questions or you're like, kind of like when you're interviewing, how do you keep your own personal bias out of when you're interviewing, I guess? Like each candidate.
I just try to ask the questions that everybody want to know, or the obvious stuff that's like, bruh, you got to cover this. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's separate. It's just like the same people that, how can I explain this? It's almost like when you talking about rap. You know what I mean? Like, you know, people put rap conversations and questions on Facebook all day, and you know, people say whatever. And I'm always of the mindset that, like, you know, you can have a favorite, and that's cool. But when we talking about best, like,
let's be real here.
let's be real. You know,
Yeah.
like T.I. is my favorite all-time artist, but is he the GOAT, nigga? No. Like, you just got to be able to separate, you know, fact from opinion and just go in with the mindset of what everybody else want to get out of this person that you're talking to, because they here to hear from this person. They ain't here to hear from you. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I go interview the mayor or, you know, anybody else, like, they want to hear from them. They ain't there for me. So it's really just asking them that stuff.
Right. You definitely gotta like, I like how you think, is you already got that different breed mindset, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm in the same boat in the times. I'm just like, man, you got to kind of separate. You got to learn how to really separate yourself from the situation.
Yeah.
And that's hard. I think that's hard. So it's cool, especially when you're doing something at the level of politics in the city. I definitely believe that it's going to make a huge difference. And it's cool, also cool to kind of see, you know, people like Andre, what's her name, Shama, people like that we've known, like we just know from around the way, however you know them, you just see as like, wow. Like we get, first off, we get older. Let's just know we
older.
older.
Yeah, we get older.
We get older, so we seeing like people we done been around. And you like, wow, like they trying to make a difference in the city, and it's amazing to see. Just whichever level that they are applying for, running for. So I'm just happy to see that, number one. And I don't like, I live in Peoria, but I live in Chicago too. So when I'm down there, it's like, man, it's just like that still make a difference. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see how who wins and everybody, like how everybody reacts. But how often does the city even care? You know what I mean? How most cities don't pay attention to the mayor and pay it until something bad happens.
Yeah.
Then they like, oh, we shouldn't have, you didn't even vote, my dude. Like, I don't know. So that's what's up though. Like, did you feel like, all right, let's dig deeper now. Let's go back to young Smooth, you know what I'm saying? So when you was in high school, did you already have yourself kind of messing with things like this, politicking, or just messing with like music, and like, do you already just have those loves, or?
Hell no. Hell no. So I graduated high school with a 1.7 GPA.
Oh my God.
Man, hey, I ain't scared to say it. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
Real though.
I wouldn't think about none of this. I mean, I had like history class was cool. You know what I mean? We had Coach Lawless, but overall, like, no, I wouldn't think about none of that. I think some of that just grew out of a byproduct of my education, for real. Like going to SIU and just seeing different stuff, and then just understanding how things work. Like, I had an interest in politics, I think, in general, from a sports perspective, like I said before, but like, I didn't even know I was going to college. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I didn't know what I was going to be on.
Damn, that's crazy. So you definitely would probably say you happy you went to college.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had someone had said something to me like today. I was like, oh, it sucks that you had to go to college, and I was like, dog, like that was probably some of the best times of my life. Whether if it was coming from the knowledge side or just enjoying the new people and the networking and the partying, you know what I'm saying? You got to experience something you ain't seeing in your own city. So I was like, but yeah, that's damn. Yeah, you a smooth dude, bro. You a smooth dude.
I was out here pop. I was pop, nigga. I'm talking about, I think freshman year, because I got pulled out because I went to Notre Dame for a little bit. Because I was doing so bad at Central, my mom just pulled me out. Because I had like all straight D's and F's and everything except like band, because I was in the marching band, bro. And I was out here bad. And so I went to Notre Dame for like a year and a half. And I really say that's the reason why I went to college for real. Because everybody was out here balling, nigga. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm going to these parties and these cribs big as hell. But we got like 2 kitchens in one crib. Like, I ain't even know people did that.
Right, we come from.
And like everybody had went to college. Like everybody that was balling, their parents went to college. So I was like, all right, bet I'm going to college. I don't know what I'm finna do for real, but you know what I'm saying. I need what y'all got. So
you started in Notre Dame, then you graduated from Notre Dame. You didn't graduate from Central.
I graduated from Central, so I went Central, Notre Dame, Central.
Okay.
I had a lot going on.
Yeah. Dang, bro, that's what's up, bro. I definitely appreciate you for chopping it up with me, man. What you got? What you got coming up next?
I'm still doing that State of Peoria with the PJ Star. That collaboration I'm doing with the newspaper. We interviewing Jim Montalongo tomorrow. He is a current council member, and he's trying to get in for mayor. So we're gonna pick his brain and see what he got going on. All the old ones that we did, those are all on my Facebook page, also on pjstar.com, where we interviewed, the mayor, city manager, did Shaman Diaz, a couple other folks, man. So doing that, we wrapping this up later on this month, and then I don't know what's next, but we're gonna figure something out.
Just gonna keep working and keeping it simple like that.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, yeah, I'm definitely rocking with what you got going on. First off, before I even get off of here, because before they don't, it's Neiman Marcus on Facebook. Now this man got the blue check. He out here getting to it. I bet you. I know people be like, "How you get that?"
It's weird, bro. It's weird because like I was on. It was like 2 weeks ago, bro. 2-3 weeks ago, and I was looking at. I was going through my story because I had like a poll on there, so I was trying to see what the results was, and it was just there. I was like, nigga, what? And so I mean, I know where it came from, like all this political stuff or whatever. But like, it was weird. But I don't know. It's different. It's different. I don't even know how to. You know what I'm saying? It's cool.
It's gonna probably put you in.
The mistake is though, people confuse a blue check with a check. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, nigga, I'm still broke. You know
Let me hold something, Mark. Let me hold something,
no,
Mark.
bro. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that. It's a lot of broke blue checks on Facebook and Instagram. So don't be caught up.
Bruh, I swear to God, 1 million followers don't mean $1 million.
Yeah, it don't. It don't. Don't get caught up, bro. Don't get caught up.
Man, but hey, once again, I appreciate you for coming on, bro. I'm gonna definitely link. I'm gonna tap in with you in general when we get off of here. But man, keep doing what you do, bro.
Appreciate y'all, man. Hey, Strictly Hip Hop 90.7 FM, the hottest radio station in the. Hey, man, who else y'all know dropping the Jay-Z and Nipsey Hussle joint? I had to throw it up in my story, man. We doing that already, bro.
Hey.
So shout out to the whole Strictly Hip Hop team, man, because they will keep it like that. Like I'm too scatterbrained to do that myself.
Hey.
So they keep it together for sure. What else I was gonna say? That's all I got. That's all I got.
Hey, you show hopped into that radio voice on there. I said, oh yeah, I forgot. It's funny because I'm like, how did I do? You the interviewer, so I like, how did I do interviewing you,
bro? You did good. You hit me with some stuff that I didn't expect, that I didn't even know you considered. So that was legit. That was legit.
Man.
Keep doing.
Hey, it's love, bro. If I get it from the GOAT, I feel good, man. I feel good, man.
Work, man. Work.
All right, bro. I'm gonna keep up with you.
All right, fool.
All right, peace. Hey, man, that was amazing. I appreciate y'all for watching Casper Consulting live Q&A. This will be on YouTube. If you want to go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/CHISongwriter, you know what I'm saying? Kind of keep up with what I've been going on. Got new songs, got new clothing, got all types of new stuff. You know how it is. And I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Marc is good people, man. Y'all listening. If you're in Peoria, listen to 90.7. They definitely keep the good music. I believe we have a few songs on there. I know Baby was on there not too long ago. I'm gonna have to reach back out and get him some more songs too. But man, thanks again for watching, and make sure y'all follow Marc Supreme on IG at Marc_Supreme, 93. So rock with me though, CHISongwriter. All love to y'all.